Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and we have with us our alumni, Vivilin, and she is a design engineer at Global Foundries, Singapore. She passed out from the college in the year 2014 from ECE department. Welcome, ma'am. And this session will be about Scardinger's elephant in the room.
Uh, that's all right. It's okay. Yeah, I will also be talking about engineers in the making. So it's all the same thing. So it's okay. When I was in your place, like when you all are right now, and when seniors used to come to talk to us, I was one of those people who would probably be in the last rows, kind of distracted sometimes. So my heart goes out to all of you who have cameras in front of you in that way. But when I think about it now, from where I am today, one of the main reasons as to why I was that distracted was probably because I thought I had college life kind of figured out. It was pretty simple to me in a way. I thought there was just this shortcut route to what you do in college. So your first step is you get okay grades, and then when the final year comes, you start appearing at these mock interviews, and then you go to a campus interview and you get a job. Otherwise, you get these higher studies ideas. And this was just like the only routes that I had in mind at that time. And sometimes when you're going from one place to another and you use a GPS for it, it doesn't always point you to the shortest route, it points you to the route with the least traffic. Unfortunately, in our case, most of the time, the routes that we choose, the higher studies or the campus route, is the most crowded route possible. And with the advent of something like COVID-19, it forces us to take a look into those options that are not the popular options in college. And those that I wish I knew earlier when I was your age, that there are other options other than the straight routes, because including me and a lot of people I know didn't fare so well in the campus interviews. So that's not the only option. Right. And so what are these other options? There are many other options that you can take in your to sort of shape your career, but all of them need the same underlining thing, and that is you have to build a profile for yourself. You need to package yourself and brand yourself well. So how do you do that? And for this, even though the topic is engineers in the making, I have to give you a disclaimer, and that is a lot of my batch people and a lot of alumni that I know are into non-engineering streams, and they're doing very well. Some are in fashion, some are in filmmaking, and they're all having very good careers. So building a profile applies to those of you who want to choose non-engineering careers as well. So what do I mean by building a profile? How do you build a profile? So when I was thinking of explaining this, how do I explain this to you? I thought of the best example that would probably be social media, because I'm older than you guys, and I think you are all much pro at it than me. You can teach me how to do it. I still can't figure out a few things. So that is an example that you are all very familiar with, right? So I got a 2K kid, I'm a 90s kid, to teach me how social media works and to consolidate it into a short 5-step approach as to what you guys do on social media to build your profiles. So the first thing that you do when you go create an account is you send out friend requests, right? You send out friend requests to every single person that you know and to friends of theirs. The second step is you go find the nicest, coziest places in Pondicherry. You go to the beach, and just when the sunlight hits you right, you take those nice pictures. Step 3, you post those pictures online, but you don't just post them online, right? What do? You maybe just looking at the sky in a picture, but you write a caption there that is like a Greek philosopher talking about world peace or something. Step 3, you share every single meme that even remotely slightly relates to you or your friends, and you share 3 or 4 people. That's how you get more people to look at you. Step 5, if all else fails, if even after you do all this, your posts are not getting enough likes, or your people are saying horrible things to you in the comments, and you go do something else. You prepare to do your next thing. You say, okay, post is not working, let me do a video now, or a filter, whatever. That's how you work on social media, right? Believe me when I say the corporate world is exactly the same thing, except we just use fancy terms for this. So let's go through the 5 steps of what happens in a corporate world to build a profile. Step one, sending out friend requests. That is what we call building contacts. And that means you go out and email people who you have never seen before. It's just like if there's a girl or boy in your class that you're too scared to go and talk to, you can always go to Facebook and say hi. That's easy, right? You do the same thing. You go and you email people, people who are in higher positions, people who are alumni, people who can help you in some way. I strongly urge you that if there is one character trait that will really help you in your career, that is learning to write emails, especially cold emails, because you don't have to write to people who you know. You can also write to emails to people who you've never met before. You have a friend of a friend who has a very small software company and you're extremely passionate about coding, then you can go right to him and say, I'm extremely passionate about this. I know that you have a firm. Can I come and work with you? Can I come and intern with you? In some cases, you can even say, I'll work for free. I just want to learn. If you're extremely passionate about something, I do it even today. When I need to learn about something, I do go to people and say, can I collaborate with you? Can I just learn from you? You don't even have to pay me. And most of the time, they will say yes. And that's how you get great experiences by connecting with people. If at all you have, even if you're a singer, you're a filmmaker, you're a photographer, go collaborate with people, influencers who you see are awesome. Go write a message to them and say, can I work with you? That's how you increase your contact list. And if you have difficulty with it, if you think it's hard for you to write those emails, you can go ask a prof, ask an alumni, contact one of us, or if there are some people in your class who are good at it, then take the first step in going and asking them, ask them to help you. Step two, going to those amazing places. That is what we call networking in corporate terms. And that means you show up in different places. Your face should be visible in different places. In college, you call it being popular. In corporate, we call it visibility. That means the higher ups see you and know you. So go to these symposiums, Lit Fest, sports days, any other place that you can go to, because that's where you meet people, that's where you become visible as a person. Step three, and the most important step, the caption. There is a story in everything. When you sell yourself as a story. Even if you have like worked with a contractor, you're a civil engineer, you work with them for a little bit of time, spin that story into saying, I was so passionate about it that I went and built houses. It's how you say the story to the interviewer that is going to make them remember you, because decisions about you will be made once you leave the room. So they will remember the story. The business of storytelling is very, very important. Step four, sharing all of those memes and posts and whatever relates to you. That is called making use of every single opportunity. So whenever any opportunity comes to you, any and every opportunity can be tried out, and you are at an age where you can try things out. So go ahead, participate in events. There are so many online forums like LinkedIn, Internshala, where these internship opportunities are posted. Go apply for them. If there are competitions online, go participate in them, because all it takes to change your life, to give you a life-changing experience, is just one opportunity to go right. So go and attend every single opportunity that comes to you. I want to say a personal experience at this point of time, and that is some time ago, I had an opportunity to refer a few people in my company. So I contacted my professors and told them if there are some people who need jobs, please ask them to send me an email. So I got a few emails, and most of these emails, they either didn't have a body, they didn't have a subject, or the resume was named something like resume number 13 XYZ. If there is at all one thing you take away from this entire commentary, please don't name your resume 123 XYZ 13 and all that. That it's extremely unprofessional to do it. So I wrote back to these people and told them, make these changes with a very detailed explanation of why they should make these changes. Take a wild guess. How many people do you think came back to me with a modified resume? One. Out of all the people, there was just one person who made those changes and emailed back to me. Where are we going wrong? Opportunities are the rarest things on earth. It doesn't come easy to everybody. And when there is somebody who's willing to help you with anything, make the most out of it. Make the most of that opportunity. Step 5, preparing for the next post. Preparation and passion are the most important things for you to build your career. When even if the other things help, this is the most important. I want to end by giving you all a story about preparation. Last year, I went to one of the biggest conferences of engineering, and in that conference, one of the keynote speakers was the head of Walt Disney, which is one of the biggest companies in the world. So when the head of Walt Disney walks into the stage filled with thousands of people, and she says the story. Out of the thousands of us who attended that session, one person had written her an email a few days earlier and told her, I am attending this session. I heard that you will be there too. I have wanted to work for Walt Disney from the time I was 6 years old. And can I have 5 minutes with you to convince you why I need an internship at Walt Disney? And at the end of that day, she went home with an internship at Walt Disney. She did everything right, right? She went to a conference, like we discussed in our points just now. She went to a conference. She emailed someone, and then she went. But she was so prepared that she could convince this person in 5 minutes. So that means you cannot prepare after an opportunity comes to you. You prepare way ahead and you wait for an opportunity. And when the opportunity comes, you make the most of it. So consider this like an exercise. When you're trying to build your profile, imagine that if you're walking down the street and the person you idolize the most, your hero, comes and stands in front of you, will you be able to convince that person in 5 minutes? Until you can do that, you have to work on your profile, continue to work on your profile. So with that, I would like to end with a quote. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Thank you. If there are any questions, I can take.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you for a motivating commentary on engineers and making. And we have a question here.
Okay.
If any student didn't get placed or didn't get admission into a higher education institute, so
Mhm.
how should they be proceeding? Because
Uh,
many would
yes.
sit home stagnantly. So, what do you think? How they can use their time to
Mm.
get into a better position?
Yes, like I said, right. So with this pandemic coming, we have all have chose to have different paths in our life right now. Even including me, I am using this opportunity to learn new things that I didn't do earlier. So I would strongly suggest that with so many businesses going online, this is like a great time for you to go and grab these opportunities. Email people, email alumni, ask them if you can work for them, and many of them will probably say yes, because everybody has small projects going on now. There are so many new businesses that are coming up because people have more time. There are more startups coming up. So if you go ask them, find the opportunity and ask them, you don't wait for them to post a job. You go and tell them, I'm passionate about this, I'm good at this, can I work for you? And even if the job that they give you is not may not be what you want, it is still a good experience, because any experience can be said in can be weaved into your story. I've had a lot of odd jobs. Like, I worked in a library, I worked as a teacher, and all of those experiences have helped me. So no job is beneath you. Just make sure that you go find an opportunity, create an opportunity for yourself, and do your best. And once this passes, the opportunities that you need will come to you. Keep preparing and be positive, and those opportunities will open up eventually.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I hope many of our students will be benefited, like based on what you told, if they follow the same instructions. So, thank you for a very wonderful session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.